Disclaimer. These views, opinions, statements expressed in this presentation are my own and do not necessarily reflect the official position, policies, or endorsement of any organization, institution, entity with which I am affiliated. So now this can be switched off so I can directly engage the audience. Because the journey that we are about to embark on is going to be a very challenging one and a thought-provoking one. Protocol has already been established, and I am so conscious of time, I need not to repeat protocol. So just allow me to proceed to the presentation that I have here. The topic: dethrone the king, declare Papua New Guinea a republic, and appoint a president as head of state. I have got so much to talk about this. There's a book coming out, please to look out for it and pick up. CPC report, chapter 7. This is what our constitutional father said. We believe that there is no reason why the people of Papua New Guinea should have to adopt this foreign idea. Neither kings and queens, nor governor generals or presidents have any traditional place in our society. This does not mean, of course, that we should not accept the British monarch, at present Queen Elizabeth II, as head of the Commonwealth. If Papua New Guinea joins the Commonwealth, we would still wish to show our respect and affection, and to welcome her and her family with our traditional hospitality. But that is a different thing from actually vesting the executive power of Papua New Guinea in the Queen, in a representative, or in a president as head of state. Our founding fathers didn't like the idea of head of state. They wanted to serve amongst the three arms of government. So my question to you is, whose idea is it? That was never our idea. The idea of monarchy is incompatible with Melanesian culture. We didn't have kings and queens. So whose idea was it? But then Lord Mountbatten came to the source of Papua New Guinea. He made 2 visits to Papua New Guinea leading up to the Constitution. Lord Mountbatten was a cousin of Queen Elizabeth II. Out of respect, I interviewed Dr. John Momis the other time, and he said, out of respect, the government decided to adopt the British monarch as head of state. So I am focusing my presentation on sections 82 to 85 of the Constitution. Section 82 says, Her Majesty the Queen, having been requested by the people of Papua New Guinea through the Constituent Assembly to become Queen and head of state of Papua New Guinea, which she has graciously consented so to become, is the Queen and head of state of Papua New Guinea. Section 83, these provisions making reference to the Queen are also extended to her heirs and successors. Section 84, the head of state takes precedence in rank over all Papua New Guineans, and immediately after the head of state is the Governor General, and full stop. Section 85 talks about realms and all this. Let me read to you. Section 82. Her Majesty, the people of Papua New Guinea requested. But our founding fathers didn't. They recommended against. But our constitution is saying that we requested and the Queen accepted. And now this is what the constitution says. The Queen Elizabeth II is now the Queen and head of state, 2 things at the same time. And these provisions are now extended to the heirs. So now in this case, King Charles III. So your constitution says that you have a king and head of state. So all these times we've been misled to think that ours is a sovereign independent nation. We have never been, and we will never be unless we do something to this. In a domain where our sovereign rules, that is known as kingdom. So yours has been a kingdom of Papua New Guinea, but you have been misled to think that yours is a sovereign nation. Because your constitution says that you have a king. It's the king of Papua New Guinea. In the kingdom you don't have citizens. You have subjects. So all of you sitting here are subjects of the king. And a territory where a domain where king exercises his jurisdiction, that is not a sovereign territory. It is a realm. And your constitution, section 85, correctly says that it is, Papua New Guinea is one of the realms of Her Majesty. And this is correctly acknowledged by the royal website, saying that Papua New Guinea is one of the 14 realms of the Commonwealth. Fellow Papua New Guineans, you have been misled to think that yours nation has been an independent nation, but today I stand here to say to you that your nation has never been an independent nation. Look at it. So I realized that if you have a king as we have, unlike the Solomon Islands Constitution, which is only says head of state, ours is different. It's the king of Papua New Guinea, queen of Papua New Guinea, and head of state. So man, yours is a kingdom. We have got two kingdoms in the Pacific, the kingdom of Tonga and the kingdom of Papua New Guinea. Only recently, on the 12th of March 2025, we have changed the name of Papua New Guinea, section 1 of the Constitution, from independent state of Papua New Guinea to independent and Christian state of Papua New Guinea. So you might as well call yourselves the kingdom, Christian kingdom. I don't know how to put it, but help me to put it, because that's who you are. Okay, I am very mindful of the time. The economic implications. Whatever we do has implications. The economic implication is that on the 6th of November on the 6th of November 1884, when British Papua was declared a British protectorate, the Union Jack was raised here and it has never been lowered. We have only lowered, not broke it into fishes, according to the words of Sir John Guise. And Union Jack is still flying over and above your black and gold. You can be the heads of the three arms of government, but there is a monarch who reigns over you all and you are all subject to. The economic implication is the government house just across Kanedobu is an extension of Buckingham Palace. Buckingham Palace is ruling Papua New Guinea through government house. But as is customary of a kingdom, subjects must foot the bill. So Papua New Guinea taxpayers are footing the bill to maintain the extension of Buckingham Palace. Political implication. You, through the Constitution, section 82, you have surrendered national sovereignty, something which nations got to war to preserve, but you have surrendered it on a golden plate to Buckingham Palace. You decided to vest judicial power in the judiciary, which is an institution. You have decided to vest the legislative power in the legislature, which is an institution. But you have decided to vest executive power not in an institution, but in an individual. Section 138 of the Constitution. That is, the head of state is not an institution, but is an individual. Should have been vested in the National Executive Council. You have given sovereignty away. You have given power away. Legal implication. Now I'm coming to legal implication. No law comes to pass until Buckingham Palace says so. No legal instrument has legal validity unless Buckingham Palace says so. All your departmental heads, you can make the recommendation, but Buckingham Palace appoints them. There's an extension down there. You can go across there and see it. You don't have to take a flight after London. It's too long. Government contracts in excess of 10 million plus. Buckingham Palace, through the extension here, must give the endorsement. So who is the legal authority over this nation? You have given several things away. Power. I'll come to you the spiritual implication. Deuteronomy 28:18 says you must be the head and not the tail. Papua New Guinea decided to be the tail and not the head. They gave the head away. Blessings flow from the head down. That's Psalms 133. If blessings flow from the head down, then your blessings must go to Buckingham Palace, then come here. It functions on the same principles as television signal. State of origin could be played down there, but it is picked up by the satellite up there and then redirected to you here. Esau traded his birthright by word of mouth. PNG traded his sovereignty by act of legislation or law. Who is our greatest sinner here? I ask, why didn't God bless the children of Israel in Egypt? Because they were under head. This must be the reason why your August 26 prayers are not answered. Maybe because God can't identify you. You are a colony of the British Empire. That is who you are. International trend. Only few countries retain the British monarch as head of state, and PNG is one of them. The rest have removed the monarch as head of state. Latest being Barbados on 30th November 2021. That's a country in Central America, and the trend is growing. PNG, after you now. Economic trend among former British colonies who are now republics. India. They have an Indian president, not the British monarch as head of state. They did once before, but they decided to change that. It's now the 5th largest economy in the world and is growing. I've got 1 minute. They unseated their own colonial master to become the 5th, and they are growing their own course to become the 3rd largest economy within the next few years. Fiji, they did have a monarch as head of state before, but now they have a republic. Malaysia, and of course Singapore, they are developed economies and they are republics. PNG, you are a constitutional monarchy. Ethnicity and cultural ties. Canada, according to my research, 2021 census, there are about 38.8% of British origin. Australia, 33% British origin. New Zealand, 47.8%. These are British uncles, cousins. They are living in different geographical locations. But Papua New Guinea, tell me what's the percentage? You are not connected culturally. You are not connected by ethnicity. like Moses leading the people out of Canaan, settling them out of Egypt, settling them in Canaan, and now telling them, writing a letter back to Pharaoh and say, you become the head over us. As long as you have Pharaoh over you, you will never, spiritually, legally, economically, politically, culturally. However, my conclusion is this: dethrone the king, declare Papua New Guinea a republic, and appoint a president as head of state following the Fijian and Indian models of republic. And the executive power, legislative power, and the judicial power may remain the same. Change the name, transfer the same powers and the functions to a president. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your attention. There's a book coming out by the same title. Read it. And I have got a disclaimer that all these views are my own, and I believe I am empowered by Section 46 of the Constitution to say what I say here as a Papua New Guinean. So thank you so much. God bless you all. Thank you.